Anti-Afro Spingalies. Finally, I'm able to pull off this review of the Derek Chauvin case. As you know, this former police officer is on trial for the murder/manslaughter of George Floyd. And I changed up again how I'm going to do this review. I'm going to look at the entire week overall, and I'm going to dovetail back to the opening statements. And I want to make sure it's clear. For me, I'm able to, I don't want to say disregard, focus on the here and now without factoring in what a verdict might be. Because I'm into the strategy as the trial moves along. There are some people who find it just impossible to sit through this trial. I completely understand that. I'm able to detach from that because legal strategy stimulates the mind if you allow it to. Reading the documents, hearing the arguments, to me, it's fascinating for me. Has been forever. I once followed the case for 18 years. And for people who want to trash public defenders, 18 years this public defender kept this client. He was on death row. This person is free. Think about that. I read every document in that case. This is a case out of Florida. So anyway, let me tell you that I also have something about this case that I'm livid about. I'm going to save that till the end. So just hang on. So let me tell you about, I'm going to start with the prosecution, then I'm going to tell you about what my impression is with the defense, and then the overall impression so far. So with the prosecution, I have to tell you. Now, hold on, because some people might think, well, this is how she feels about, she thinks that so-and-so is guilty or not guilty. No, it has nothing to do with that, people. I'm talking about the strategy for the trial. So don't think about verdict. When I heard the prosecutor, the brother, giving his opening statement, nearly at the beginning, I almost fell out of my chair. He said that this former police officer, Chauvin, was innocent until proven guilty. I couldn't believe what I heard. What in the hell are you saying that for as a prosecutor? I don't remember ever hearing a prosecutor in an opening statement say that. You're supposed to be saying things like, we have strong evidence to prove, I'm just saying anything, right? Strong evidence to prove our case. And I stand before you, making it very clear that we are here to show you that evidence. And by the time we're done, ... it will be clear. Our case will be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, because that's the standard. What about something like that? What the hell are you talking about? He's innocent until proven guilty. That sounds like a defense attorney to me. What the hell are you doing? I said, oh no, this is not going to go well. Sorry, what the hell are you talking about? I was very confused. It's like, why are you showing a lack of confidence in your case? To me, that represented a lack of confidence. So here we go. So as we go on, he starts bringing out these props. The badge, I guess the contract about the police officer code of conduct. And I'm saying to myself, what is the purpose for all these props? Can you just come up and just tell us the case? Just tell us. Join with us. connect with us, bond with us, convince us. We already have this freaking plexiglass that we're dealing with. Forget all these PowerPoints for the opening statement. Just get up here, tell us what you got, and let's get on with it. So here he comes up with this videos and this, and I'm going, I can't believe he's putting all this up here in an opening statement. I mean, yes, 911 calls, that's pretty common for opening statement, but why are you putting all these props and this emotion? And because there's going to be plenty of emotion. We know this case is emotional just by itself. Why are we being overwhelmed in an opening statement? That was my concern in the opening statement with the prosecutor. I just didn't understand the point. And to show George Floyd on the ground in the opening statement in the screen, I didn't like that. I thought it was too much. I thought it was overwhelming. I thought it was unnecessary. Okay, so let's go to the defense attorney. I was concerned because he said he was doing his job. He said that the police officer, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And I thought that was a callous statement to make. I think it's an expectation that you're going to say he was supposed to kill. Okay, there is some, to say you're supposed to kill someone, that's what it sounds like. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing. I think he could have used different language. That shows like a disregard for life. I think the wording might not go over very well. But I think he may have saved himself by invoking all of these standards. Perhaps not, though, but I think you got to be careful about sounding too callous. And then he was saying stuff about the stress of a police officer. Okay, so if you're stressed out, does that mean you get to kill someone too? I'm stressed, so I get to kill you. God help us all, right? We're all stressed out. We're stressed out so we can kill people. I'm not sure that goes well with saying you did what I was supposed to do. How does that relate to stress on the job? What you're supposed to do is a professional standard. Stress is a response, right? That doesn't really go well. All I'm saying is that's a pretty tall order to say he did what he was supposed to do. Now you're going to have to prove that, and that is a very tall mountain to climb. So I'm going to be waiting for that. I'm waiting to hear supposed to do. He's going to have to answer to that. That's what I was thinking. But let me tell you overall my, quote, grade, if you will. When it came to style and delivery, I'm going to have to give it to the defense because he was straightforward and to the point. He didn't have any bells and whistles, just gave the statement. I was concerned, to be honest with you, about the prosecution's over emotional, like the saturation of emotion, because you can lose people with that. Because I'm hearing a lot of people just on the internet, just in general, tuning out. When I say tune out, not that they don't care about George Floyd, but they're tuning out of the trial because it's too much. They don't want to see it. So we're all human, right? So if people are tuning out, don't you think the jury might feel that way? Some people in the jury? There's no guarantee. Because if you overload people, it's human nature. You have to protect yourself to shut down. Now, let me give you a little secret. when you work in the mental health field, you get trained to do that. You cannot take in, you can't saturate all of the tragedy and the just horrific stuff you're hearing. You can't bring it all in. You deliberately have to cut stuff off. If you don't know how to deliberately cut it off, your brain, in one respect, will automatically just completely shut down. So if your brain completely shuts down and you're not really aware of it, that's a whole different, you're not going to be rational. So you can shut down and be rational, then you can shut down and not be rational. So that's the concern that could happen. People don't realize the danger when you oversaturate. And that's one of the things about juries that they have. You're not supposed to inflame the jury. But the judge is letting them do this. And then juries tend to get upset if you try to inflame and oversaturate them. So that's my concern about the prosecution's case so far. But it continued on with the testimony. Now, let me tell you this. You remember the wrestler, the MMA? I thought he was a good witness. I think him and a couple of other people would have been excellent witnesses. I don't think all of these other people they brought on here are helping the prosecution's case. I don't think keeping them off was hiding anything because all the video was there. You're not hiding anything from the jury if you had a couple of witnesses testify about what they saw, because you have the video, you have the people talking. So what is the point to continue piling it on? I don't get it. I think that could backfire. And then I'm really confused about the reason for the girlfriend coming on. Wouldn't she be a better witness if there was a conviction? Like a victim impact statement? I don't understand the purpose of her testimony. I mean, yeah, I heard the testimony, but how did it contribute to the guilt or innocence of Derek Chauvin? I'm lost at that witness. The strategy for me, it just seems like it's emotion. And I'm just concerned that the jury can be glossed over. So remember, we're early in the trial. We're early. So this is just as we speak now. It's got nothing to do with what's going to happen in the future, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so let me get to the point that really, really upset me about this trial. I don't like the fact that the prosecutor who did the opening statement, he comes on, he does the opening statement, and he disappears until day 2, where he is interviewing the people who were the young people who were minors at the time of the incident. That made it really seem like he was used as a prop, as a racial prop. Okay, so if he's going to do opening statement, he's a perfectly qualified prosecutor. What is the reason that he could not question the first 2 witnesses? Why not give the jury the opportunity to get used to a prosecutor in the courtroom? To me, I didn't understand the strategy with that. Just get up there and do an opening statement and then you disappear. It gives the impression that you're trying to overwhelm the jury with emotion and race. It felt to me like manipulation. It felt like the jury was being manipulated, and me watching as a black person, I felt the effort was to manipulate and sway the public. Obviously, this trial is being broadcast. Make it look good. If you have him questioning 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, it's less likely that impression would be evident. And then you bring him on for baby cakes, day 2. You have the white prosecutor, the female, she's up here questioning witnesses, but the very limited role of the black prosecutor is insulting. Okay, he's not the lead prosecutor. Okay, fine. The lead prosecutor is white. That's okay. It just seems like he's there just because they need a black face. The other thing I'm kind of upset about with the prosecution, I don't think the prosecution is doing a good job. I'll be honest with you people. And here's another reason why. I don't think their witnesses are prepared. I don't think the witnesses are prepared for the defense. When I say prepared, no, you don't tell them what to say, but they need to be ready. Their demeanor is not polished. Their demeanor should be relatively even when you're getting questioned by both sides. Just answer the questions. You don't have to be fighting and just answer. What's the purpose of having a nasty attitude with the defense attorney? It just completely messes up your credibility when you're nice to the prosecutor and then you have a nasty attitude with the defense and you don't want to answer the questions because the defense attorney is defending the person on trial. That doesn't make any sense. What is the reason that they were not spoken to? Or maybe they were spoken to and they didn't care. Well, even when there's a break, are you not talking to the witnesses and telling them they need to get it together? And then obviously I'm talking about the non-professional witnesses because they were pretty much fine, but some of the other witnesses, several of the witnesses I'm just going, what? Just answer the question and let's move on with this. Let's see how this goes. Again, we're on week 1, but I don't want to mess up the case because you're already demonstrating you're heavily swayed in your position. Your position doesn't matter. You're a witness in a case and you're there to answer questions. And people out there who have testified in a trial, you know this. You're there to answer the questions. Just get up there, answer the questions, and then go. That's it. All this extra stuff, it's distracting. It's very distracting. It wastes time. Okay, let's get on with it. So this is my week 1 review. We have a lot more to cover. We'll see how this goes, but I'm going to stick probably to a weekly review because there's a lot more going on I want to post about. But I sincerely hope the prosecution takes the foot off the emotional pedal. It's not going to help the case. And I think, I don't want to predict, but if that defense attorney is going to follow through on what he says he's going to do, it's going to suck the life out of the prosecution's case. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. But for now, I'm staying the course. Let's see what happens. We're coming on week 2. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.